Alyssa Alvey with Theme Park Review here to ask your questions at IAAPA 2012. Well, at least the ones that weren't terrible.
All right, so we're here with Walter Bolliger of Bingham, and Walter, you guys have had a really exciting 2012, haven't you guys?
We had a very good 2012 years, I think, with many opening of the Wing Coaster at Six Flags Great America and Dollywood, opening of the Giga Coaster at Canada Wonderland.
So what was that like, going over 300 feet tall for the first time? What were some of the challenges you guys had with that ride?
I think it's to design that very carefully, but we always do that. It's to work with high speed. It was essentially the higher speed and making sure that there's no vibration in the vehicle.
So we had some of our guys at Theme Park Review. We have a few questions for you. Are you prepared for the questions? Are you ready for the answers?
I weigh the questions and I will see if I can answer.
I see a smile, so I think that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so you guys are always innovating as far as new train designs and everything. What do you guys see sort of like, is the next big innovation, is it trains? Is it different style of roller coaster? What do you guys think?
I don't know yet. I think we always come with new developments and we try to work on every front at the same time. So I cannot say what will be the future.
So the Wing Coaster debuted at Gardaland, was it last year, right? How many years of development went into developing that before it was actually released to the public?
It was 3 years of development, I think, going step by step. And then when we felt ready, when we felt it would be a great coaster, I think we proposed it to customers.
Okay, great. Out of all of the coasters you guys have designed, what do you guys feel is the most challenging, either like by the amount of space you had to put in or what the customer was asking for?
I think the challenge is really to create an interesting layout, enjoyable layout, and of course, the tighter the area is, the more challenging it is.
Did you guys have is there any coaster that comes to mind you think, man, how are we going to fit that much ride in that little space?
I think it started with Batman's Ride in 1992.
So you guys perfected that basically, because that was one of your earlier designs.
Yes, and I think when we are talking about Gardaland, it's the same. I think the area was very tight, but I think it's really each park has different challenges, and we have to work with that. So I would say what makes the work enjoyable is that everything is different. I think each time we have to reinvent ourselves.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Will we ever see one of your roller coasters using the lap bar restraint that has inversions?
I don't want to say never, because I think never is always a wrong answer.
Gotcha.
We don't know.
Don't know. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Will the Wing Rider concept, do you think that'll ever go into a full 4D with rotating seats or anything, or is that too far in the future?
It's far in the future. I think I will not exclude that. I think it's also a question of cost and budget.
Okay. And let's see. Have you guys ever considered building a hypercoaster or a Giga that features inversions, or is there any reason why you guys haven't done that type of ride yet?
I don't want to answer that question.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. And really, I think that's sort of it. I mean, the guys at TPR have asked you some tough ones, so hopefully they're happy with those answers. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Looking forward towards the future, big things to come?
I think we enjoy our work, and I think this is what is important. I think to enjoy the work, to see that people enjoy our coasters, to see that the park enjoy B&M coaster too.
Cool. I do want to say I love the new booth design, so it's very nice to see. So it's very creative, so happy to see that. So again, have a wonderful 2013, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
How's it going, Theme Park Review? I am back here with Rick Hunter, and Rick, you know, I'm gonna inflate his ego a little bit. I think Rick may be my favorite interview of all of IAAPA because you're always so animated, and clearly other people must love you too because you are holding, is it not one but 2 awards this year?
Oh, Rob, you know what? We're extremely excited because we have won 2 awards. One is for the Best New Water Ride of the Year, which is the Hydromagnetic Mammoth. And when you're fortunate enough to win one of the categories for the water park, they then get submitted to the overall IAAPA entire industry. And there's an impact award. And we were fortunate this year, we've won the impact. So a product that is across the industry as the potential biggest impact of any ride this year.
So that's a big deal, right?
Oh, it's huge. No, it's enormous.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay,
Couldn't be more excited.
So tell us a little bit about the ride that got you these awards.
Okay, this year, of course, it was the Hydromagnetic Mammoth, which is the hottest new limb hydromagnetic ride that we put in ever. It's the 6-passenger raft. It's 12 feet wide. It's longer, higher, longer in duration, and it's from Holiday World, is really the one that we've operated this summer. It's like a home run.
That's great. All right, so we talked a little bit about that last year. Let's talk a little bit about what is to come. I know we were just at Yas Water World earlier this year. We saw some of that park under construction, and you guys have some new attractions that just went in Down Under as well, right?
That's correct. So, and Down Under, we're at Wet n Wild Sydney, and we're doing actually very, very large complexes there. They're all family driven. They're 4 and 5 passenger. And we have one right here, and it happens to be a combination ride. We have Tornado Wave, which is just the hottest new gravity ride of the year. We're going to say for this coming season. We've got the Tantrum Alley that we did at Wild Waddy, now going into Wet n Wild Sydney.
We loved that, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. You did like that ride.
Oh, we loved it. We took video and everything. We had so much fun on that.
That's fantastic. And also, we've got a Dark Tornado 60 that has one of the longest in-runs and out-runs on the planet. And they're all coming off of one platform, 3 rides, amazing capacity.
That's great. And what type of rafts are those going to use?
Those are going to use cloverleaf, 4-man cloverleafs. And we also have another 3 major family ride complex that's going to use 5-passenger rafts.
That's great. And when is the Sydney one open?
Sydney's opening, it should be right around October, November of next season, which is their summer season for 2013.
Okay, great. All right, Rick, so we're looking at one of the slide complexes here from Abu Dhabi in Yas Water World, is that right?
That's right. This is hot stuff.
Why is it hot?
Okay, why it's so hot is that this is using the Hydromagnetic Mammoth technology. Okay, that's 6-passenger rafts dropping, 30 feet, inclining up 30 feet, full blast, 30 feet per second. And we have 2 different rides at Yas. Okay, Holiday World is special on its own. It's a ride up. This one is 2 different rides, and we have the Hydromagnetic Mammoth, which is the green and yellow here, with 3 major drops, back-to-back curves, but we also have the Hydromagnetic Mammoth Tornado.
Now, is this the first time you guys have done a tornado on a hydromagnetic ride?
Absolutely.
That's
right.
Amazing.
No, this is a world's first, and you know what? You should see it. Like, the model's amazing. You should see this in real life. The thing is to die for.
Now, one of the questions I have about Abu Dhabi is, obviously you guys have very different weather restrictions and everything. How do you guys deal with all the sand and making sure that the rides stay looking amazing, that kind of thing?
You know what? These things are driving all of us to another level. And there's no doubt that the sandstorms and everything have made the installation, a challenge.
Sure.
And 45-degree weather, which is amazing. Celsius, it's 105, 110 degrees. So it takes a little longer, but the truth is it's all worth it. And to keep them clean, that's not going to be an issue. But that's more work, but it's fine.
Cool. And they're ready to commit. Is that right?
We are. Yeah, it is right. It's close to the trigger, and you know what? I know that it's such an extensive project, and the theming is to die for as well. It's amazing. So I think that they're within 30 to 60 days, and I know this. They want to open in a beautiful situation. So I know they're not rushing it, but we're all of us are are, as a big team, we're all there and we're all excited.
That's great. No, it looked great when we saw it, and that was 6 months ago, so I can only imagine what it looks like now.
Oh man, it is really looking good.
Cool.
We're excited.
All right, Rick, so this is a Wild Wadi slide complex, and we were just there earlier this year and loved it. Tell us a little bit about this ride.
Thanks, Rob. You know, Wild Wadi is a whole different experience for us. And what we've done is we've taken what we used to call the Mammoth Rivers, and we put on these major features. So when you look at something like Wild Wadi, we've got a great Mammoth River with open back-to-back curves into the dark, and then we take you into something called a bowling alley, which is like an open vortex, and then bottom drops out back into the dark tunnel into another bowling alley. So this is a full journey ride. It makes it a longer experience. It changes up the speeds, you know, from something called very fast and dark to something a little bit more passive, but then all of a sudden, bam, bottom drops out again.
And it does.
It does. It doesn't.
It really
doesn't.
does.
You drop at 100% grade, 14 feet, so you went from nothing to very high speed. Same thing, similar, but a different experience into what we call the Tantrum Alley. So the other ride actually has, you know, these great reducing funnels, and they go from 24 feet down to 12 feet. And so, you know, you've got up and back and forth, you know, oscillations, and so that's a huge change up too. It was interesting because Chris Perry over at Wild Wadi said, these rides have turned out so well. I think their business went up almost 25 to 30%.
That's great.
And you know what? We have no more important job than to make our great owners and operators very successful. We couldn't be happier.
No, it was a fantastic ride. I mean, like I said, even our daughter rode it, and she loved it. And we can't wait to go back.
That's great. And you know what? We're on to other things because what we like to do in this industry, and you know this, is, you know what? When you make a great ride, we quantify, you know, what made it a great ride? What did people love? What didn't they like as much? And how can we make it better? So, hey, let's face it, continuous improvement is everything. And, you know, that's in the DNA. We love it.
Cool. Theme Park Review members submitted questions. Are you ready and are you prepared to answer?
I will do my very best, and I hope I can answer them adequately.
Okay. All right, let's see. Question number one. With water slides, capacity is often a major issue. Have you considered any solution to lower capacity slides, like in the way that Rocket designs have multiple tubes on the course at once, et cetera, et cetera? Basically, sort of what is your solution to increase capacity on your slides?
Okay, well, we've worked on capacity because it is such an essential component of a successful water ride. So, for example, in gravity water rides, we were the ones that, and we were thinking about that is, hey, you know what, when you have a single start, you have to load up one raft or tube or whatever at one time. So why don't we do twin entries? Okay, so when you do a twin entry, you can have people dispatching while you're loading the other one, and while you're loading this one and dispatching, then you're loading the other one. So twin entry, triple entries, this is something we've already done. It's the right thing to do. Also, you got to make sure at the bottom of the ride that when you come into the splash pool or come into the splash channel at the bottom, that you actually have a current in that splash pool so that as the riders come in on a tube, they actually float in a direction away from the entry. Therefore, we can bring in the next one very, very close behind and make it safe. That's a good question.
Cool. Whoever asked that, thumbs up from Rick Hunter. Okay. Number two. Most of your recent innovations have been tube slides. You guys have any new features coming for either body or mat slides?
Mat racing is something that's near and dear to our heart. Back in 1995, we innovated the straight, what I call triple drop Pro Racer. Then we went ahead, as you know, with the Octopus Racer, which put us into a tube, into a tunnel, and of course we did the 360s in line. Last year we came out with Kraken Racer, which is another tunnel ride with 4 back-to-back curves braided into the bottom. Trust me when I say this, mat racing's important, so we're going to continue to add those two together, do some different things, different configurations. We're definitely doing that.
Excellent.
Okay, so body slides, same thing, but we tend to be doing body slides off of multi-level play structures. What we're doing is we're taking body sliding to another level. We're working on the kids area, big time important. We're making kids' body slides like the big kids' other rides.
Gotcha.
So this is hot stuff. Good,
cool.
Another good question.
Excellent. Is there a limit on how fast a body slide can go before it starts being uncomfortable for people, etc.?
That question's answered this way. In speed sliding rides, obviously, you know, we're very vertical. We might be dropping at 80 degrees or 70, 80 degrees. We can get into very, very high rates of speed because you're literally hydroplaning up above the water. So if we don't change direction, Rob, you can go up to 40 miles an hour, even higher, okay? The truth is, so you do that. Now, if you start to do body sliding on back-to-back curves, you have to be careful there because the truth is that there is an over-rotation possibility. Right. So we have to make sure that when we do those back-to-back curves, we have time to make the curve, finish the curve, straighten out, and enter the new curve. So you know what? It's all about timing, and it's all about sort of that phasing in and out of transitions.
Very careful design, yeah?
Very careful design.
Great. Okay. All right. What do we have? Will we see any clear tubes from you guys in the future?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, the technology is getting to a point where we used to call it translucent,
sure.
and now we're calling it very clear translucent. To get absolutely transparent is, you know, that is acrylic. Different product. Right now, acrylic's extremely expensive. Some higher end features are being done, and we've done them through the Shark Tank and through the fish tanks. The truth is we're continuing to search out something more clear that would be more affordable, so you could do it continuously.
Great.
And we're doing it.
That's excellent. Okay, and actually, I love this question. This one's actually kind of funny and clever. So how is it that a place that's known for cold, like Canada, and not really for like water type of things, ended up being like between you and some of your friendly competitors? Like, how is it that all of the water slides in the world, or at least a major amount of them, come out of Canada? How did that happen?
You know what? I think that's just a bit of luck of the draw,
right.
Really. And I think that, you know, the truth is that water, of, you know, as we say it's 2/3 of the world's surface, sure. Right? So everybody loves water. The thing about some Canadians is that we'll put a bathing suit on when it's 40 degrees out because sure. The summer's only this long.
Because you're insane.
Yeah. Well, we like to say that we just like to have a good time.
Right.
But the truth is, I think it was just, you know, it was timing. I met somebody, you know, back when I was in my late 20s, and my ski racing background just was a natural for me to really like sliding. You know, I mean, winter sliding, you know, whether it be, you know, sleighs or, you know, a type of disc or skiing, that's sliding. Right. And you know what, that goes hand in hand with water. So these two sports of ski racing and water sliding sport are amazingly similar.
Yeah, no, and do you still ski?
I ski a lot.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
ski all the time.
Hear. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, Rick, as always, you are a fantastic interview. Love it. Can't wait to ride more of your stuff next year. And hopefully we'll get out to Yaz Water World sooner than later.
That's great. Thanks, Rob. I really appreciate it. Always great to talk to everybody.
All right, great. Have a good show.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here with Chuck Bingham from Martin & Vleminckx. And Chuck, we just got back from China a few weeks ago, and we rode the High Five Woody. And I have to be honest, that was like one of the most amazing, crazy roller coasters that we've ever ridden. And I'm looking at footage of it right behind us as well, too. So thank you guys for using that. Just tell us a little bit about, like, and I know we talked about this last year, but now that I've been on it, what did you guys think when that design was first presented? Did you guys think it could be done? I mean, what were some of the challenges on that ride?
Well, the first challenge was to convince the government in China that it would even work. When they saw it, they said, no way. And they even went so far as to do their own modeling of it. And when they did, they came back and said, you're right, because we explained to them that when you go through the high five, you're floating, that there was really no G-forces involved that should be concerned. And they came back and said, you're right. So we did it. And there's a good chance that there could be a high five in Europe very soon.
Really? So, and this is one of the questions. We asked Gravity Group the same question. What do you think the chances are that we'll ever see one in the U.S.? Do you think this is something that a park would buy?
Absolutely. We have a lot of interest in it, and as I mentioned, possibility is very good that there'll be one in Europe soon. So that demonstrates that there's
great.
A lot of interest.
That's great. And you guys never stop building. I know you guys have another ride in China coming up. Anything you can talk about that? I know it's still a little bit under wraps, but anything you can say?
Yes, it's, we're at the point where the structure of the track is finished. So it's in the air. It's ready for the mechanical controls and train, but that's delayed now to early spring due to weather. Tianjin is an area where the weather's not too good for the next couple months. So that's the status of it at the moment. We do expect it'll be up and operating in April. So we're looking forward to it. And it'll be an exciting coaster. It's in our eyes, it's probably just as exciting as the first one we did in Shanghai.
Cool. And you guys always seem to have so many things going on. Like anything you guys can talk about the future, let us know where you guys are headed.
Come back in a few weeks.
Come back in a few weeks. I love hearing that. So you keep us.
Yeah, we have many prospects, and I expect in the next few weeks we'll have something to talk about.
That's cool. All right, Chuck, we always appreciate it. Thanks again. High Five was amazing. We rode both High Five and Fireball back-to-back in China. Fantastic rides, and we look forward to next year riding the new one in China.
And I want to thank you very much for the great videos that you've done
You're welcome.
that we use here, because they're the best.
Thank you. No, it's great to hear.
Okay.
So, thanks again, Chuck.
Thank you, Rob.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
All right, guys, that wraps up yet another IAAPA 2012 video from Theme Park Review. Make sure you check out our other videos on YouTube.